Hello. Have no idea how many people are gonna join us on a short notice Saturday afternoon. If someone could just give me the confirmation in the chat that the audio is working, I'd appreciate that. Saturday afternoon edition. Thank you, Amagi. Your New Jersey Devils in a bad way right now. The boys are down. They're down pretty bad. 3-game losing streak heading to San Jose to hopefully snap the streak. And if they don't, your boy Ace will be fairly suicidal coming off that painful loss the other night. What words are there to say at this point, guys? I mean, it's been a great season thus far. The struggles have hit us as of late. The referee punishment has hit us lately. In shutout the 6th time in the 41st game, halfway through the season, the boys are in a good way, but there's some cause for concern. 3-game slide, never good. Hopefully they break out of it today. We got Markey back in net and possibly Dowling back in the lineup. Amanda Stein posted from practice yesterday that Tatar was taking rotations with Dowling on the 4th line. So we'll probably see Bastian and Lazar and then either Tatar or Dowling. I'd be curious to see Dowling on the wing with Lazar and Bastian. That'll be like probably the 27th different combination of a 4th line we've seen this season. I'm still waiting for my man Hallinan to get a call up from Utica. Free Hallinan. I don't know what's going on with that. I did like Legary in a couple of the games he played for us when Laser and Bastian were both out. Legary had a couple good games, I thought. And I'm curious to see what will the 4th line hold. I do believe the Cotter, Halla, Mercer line will eventually get it going. I think it's only a matter of time, but we'll see. The 4th line definitely needs some help. 3rd line needs to get it going. The boys are in San Jose. Markey back in the net. Cheers to all my Devils fans out there. Dirty Devil Vodka. I'm just going to do a little quick bottle shot. I'm not drinking a lot today until later. But cheers to you guys. The official vodka, the great Martin-Brodeur. Smooth as hell. Just a quick little bottle shot there to wet the beak. But, wow, I'm pumped for this one. 2 days off. Seems like an eternity. I'm sure the boys are chomping to get back out there and get a win. And we'll see how it goes. Hopefully no former Devils come back to haunt us. Obviously, Toffoli and Zetterlund on the Sharks. Thankfully, Mac Black has moved on to the Colorado Avalanche and is having a hell of a start for the Avalanche. I mean, wow. I always thought Mac was going to be good, and I defended him in group texts for years when some of the other Devils fan friends I have were like, Mac's got to go, blah, blah, blah. He showed flashes of brilliance, and then, inconsistency would creep in, and he'd have a bad game after that, and maybe a string of them. But I thought he always showed signs. Big kid, athletic. He had some great outings, kept up some bad Devils teams in games they had no business being in. Let's be honest. Those were some bad Devils teams that he played behind for a lot of his time here. But Mac Black, man, on fire for the Avalanche. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins a cup there, to be honest. And I don't play fantasy hockey anymore just because I don't have, this channel and some other things in life take up so much of my time. And if I play fantasy hockey, I get very into it. And it is very time consuming with games every single day. But I do have a buddy that started playing for the first time this year. And as soon as Mac Black got traded to the Avalanche, I texted him and was like, get Blackwood immediately. Get Blackwood immediately. And the other day he texted me. He's like, oh, yeah, thanks for that Blackwood tip. I was like, your boy. I knew he was going to be a beast on the Avs. And then they quickly signed him to an extension. Good for Mac. He's set for life now. I think they gave him, $5.5 million times 5 years or something like that. Good for Mac. Blackwood got the bag. But we need this win today, guys. Absolutely need the win. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Amagi Sharks stink. Traveling Devil Timo after every shot he gets past the Sharks goalie. Amagi, I bet on Timo getting a revenge goal, so he's going to hit the post 20 times. Ryan, Ace, I don't want to, but I have bet Toffoli goal against all NJ former Devils haunt us. Oh, that's terrible, dude. You bet on Toffoli to score? I don't know how I feel about this. Amagi, I did consider throwing Toffoli in the parlay. Michael, we can't buy that vodka in Finland. It'd be nice to taste it. Yeah, a lot of times overseas and stuff is Unfortunately, I don't think they have any sort of distribution in a lot of those countries. Let me just see something here. Jeff, really need this one today. Goal for the birthday boy, number 13. Yep, today Nico has turned 26 years old. And guys, I've said for a while, one of the main reasons I wanted the Devils to operate as if they are truly a win now team is because nucleus is age quick. And I've said this time and time again. I probably sound like a broken record, but Nico's 26 now. I mean, think about that. It happens quick. It happens quick. Nico's 26. And before we know it, he's going to be 30. And so these precious prime years go by fast. And, Jack and Jesper, yeah, they're still very young. But every season that goes by that you don't make a deep run or win the cup is another year off the clock with the nucleus. And again, a lot of the longtime guys, you remember the Zajac and Parisi teams, when those guys were so young, it seemed like for sure they would have won a cup at some point, and the years just go by quick. And then eventually guys either get traded or they move on via free agency, etc. And now Nico's 26 years old. Let that sink in. Hopefully we get one or multiple cups with Nico. Hopefully he's a lifer here, but you got to get it done, and you got to maneuver like a win now team. And I believe we truly are a win now team. Amagi, someone's selling an awesome Mac Black game worn jersey of when Jack scored his first NHL goal. That's actually my buddy Jordan. He's a huge collector. He was on. We did a couple segments. He's the guy that has all the crazy game worn goalie masks. Same guy. He has a ton of great jerseys as well. And once in a while, he has some extras that he has to move on. Move on from. And that Mac Black was one of them. Stanley 62495. Blackwood is probably the only player worth watching in 2020. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy how good he's going to be, how good he is going to be with the Avs. I mean, when he went to the Sharks, I even told people, I said, listen, he's putting up respectable numbers on a garbage team. Like, what do you guys expect him to do? And sure enough, the Avs saw the potential. They made the move, and it's going to be Mac's team, which is wild. I mean, what a come up for Mac, really. I mean, to go from one of the worst rebuilding teams in the league to a legitimate cup contender who's won the cup a few years ago. Rags to riches, the ultimate rags to riches story for Mac Black, and good for him. SST, what's that Dirty Devil vodka bottle doing in the glass cabinet next to the goalie mask? Is that a piece of memorabilia from 25 years ago? No, that's a signed bottle, a bottle signed by Marty from very recently. I just threw it in there. Not everything here is old. I have, there's some more new stuff in the set is a little mixture, more skewed towards older guy stuff. But I'm trying to just see in the thing here. Yeah, the Timo and Halla helmets you see at the top are fairly new. Obviously, most of the signed photos are pretty vintage. The mask has been more old than new, but there's some newer stuff sprinkled in. Devils fan 13 Dowling hat trick today. Oh, what that is in a long line of bold predictions. That is definitely one of the bolder ones I've seen. A Dowling hat trick. And if you were able to find odds on that, I'm sure it would be maybe in the thousands to 1, maybe 5,000 to 1 on a Dowling hat trick. Cape Dweller watching Rags Caps, hoping New York can help us out. Let me see the out-of-town scoreboard. I haven't looked at anything today. I was doing a bunch of other stuff. Caps up 4-2. Oof. And the Rangers just continue to be a disaster. Amagi, tell him to give me the friends and family discount. It actually sold. Didn't stick around long. Great price on a Mac Black Devils gamer. It has sold. It has found a new home. What's going on, John? Ace, there's been a rash of bad referee judgment calls regarding goaltender interference lately. Funny you mentioned that, John. I made a video about this very topic, and then the next night, a bunch more happened. I mean, it's just crazy. Back to Mac Black. In the Avalanche game, former Devil goaltender Wedgwood was in there. Someone kind of got bumped into him. He gets knocked over. He gets injured pretty badly. He's laying in the goal, and the refs didn't blow it dead. And then I think it was the Sabres score a goal while Wedgwood's like dying in the crease. Very shocking kind of play. There was a little bit of a fracas afterwards, and it was a little surprising, in my opinion, that they did not blow the play dead. But again, I made a whole video about it. I showed the Timo goal, and I also showed the there was a Panthers goal against the Rangers that I thought should not have counted, where Sam Oskevich on the Panthers goes by and he's in the crease and he like hits Shesterkin's glove with his glove. And that one counted. Laviolette challenged it, and they said, no, that's a good goal. So at this point, like Stefan Nason said, no one knows what goaltender interference is. No one has any idea. And so it is what it is. We continue to hope for better from the NHL. I think fans across the league and the players are pretty tired of all of it. And hopefully they do something about it. It's a bad look for the league. And hopefully they get it figured out. But I don't have much hope that they do anything about it, to be honest. Ryan, Rangers got smacked again. They were lucky they scored one goal. The goalie left the net, and they had an easy open net. Devils fan 13, I'm joking. I figured you were joking about the Dowling hat trick. What's going on, Phil? Big one today. Epic bite, 2-4. SST, are we allowed doomsdaying if we get an L tonight? I never want to deal with doomsdaying, but if it's logical doomsdaying, sure. They're not going to lose tonight. Oh God, I hope they don't lose tonight. I can't deal with people that I can't imagine what 4 in a row, the types of things people will be saying would be completely ridiculous. Amaki, as soon as the puck went to the corner, that play should have been blown dead. Dude was literally writhing in pain in his net. Yeah, it was bad. He should have popped his mask off. That seems to be the surefire way to get a whistle. And a lot of goalies have utilized that in the past. He should have just popped his mask off as he was going down. That's some high quality H2O. Let's see. Devils fan 13. What are your thoughts on Jake Allen right now? Do you think it's the nagging injury he's been dealing with? Possibly. Our team seems to play more confident with Markey and net. I don't. Yeah, he played a great game the other night, and he played the game before. He played 2 amazing periods. The first 40 minutes of that Carolina game. I think he's pretty damn good. It's just he's been, unfortunately, in some games where the Devils can't get goals, and Markey's been on the short end of that stick as well. And hopefully it changes soon. I mean, Allen, I do think is solid. And I really don't think it's injury related. I think he's been playing pretty well. The team has just failed him. And Markstrom on a lot of nights. Devils fan 13, I didn't see much difference in the team's play behind both goalies before the Allen injury. Morgan Williams, who's the biggest dumpster fire of New York sports? Giants, Jets, Sabres, Islanders, Rags, or basketball? Well, I know the Knicks were on a winning streak, so I don't think it could be them. And it can't be the Islanders because they've had some deep playoff runs fairly recently. And the Giants, despite being terrible, I'm a casual Giants fan, terrible as of late, they have won some Super Bowls in modern times as well, which would leave, in my humble opinion, the biggest dumpster fire in New York sports would be between the New York Jets and the Buffalo Sabres. Wow. It's close. That's a real close one. That is a real close one. Definitely between the Jets and Sabres. I don't know. And if anyone is a Jets and Sabres fan, which I don't know how that would happen, there'd be a very unique set of circumstances. I would imagine most Jets fans are either Rangers or Islanders fans, if I had to guess. And I'd imagine most Sabres fans are obviously Buffalo Bills fans, but I suppose there could be, for whatever reason, some fans out there that are a hybrid that are Jets Sabres. And if those people do exist, my heart truly goes out to you, because being a Jets Sabres fan would be just brutal. Absolutely brutal. Eric, let's go Ace of Spades. The boys are going to bounce back. I just want them to come out flying and smashing. Come out and play the body and smash dudes immediately. Heavier, edgier, more violent for 60 minutes. It's funny. Last night I was late night watching the most recent episode of Spit and Chicklets. Love Spit and Chicklets. If you guys aren't familiar, check it out. The biggest hockey podcast in the game. And they were doing a bunch of interviews and stuff at the Winter Classic this past, a couple days ago. And one of the guys they had in for an interview was former New Jersey Devil and the only Hart Trophy winner in Devils history, Taylor Hall. And amongst the topics they discussed with Taylor Hall, one of the guys had asked him, what teams have impressed you, or what teams when you guys played them where you're like, oh shit, this team's really good. And in a nutshell, he said, the Florida Panthers. He said the Florida Panther, and this is like almost verbatim. It's not exactly what he said, but I'm pretty closely paraphrasing. He said something along the lines of, the Florida Panthers don't try to get fancy. We thought they were going to come in here and maybe because we're a struggling team, they're going to try to make fancy plays all night. He's like, no, the Panthers do not deviate. They chip pucks in, get on the forecheck, and play a heavy, gritty game all game long. And he straight up said, Taylor Hall said, they play playoff hockey all year. Bang! This is what I've been talking about to all of you for years. Heavier, edgier, more violent, but for some reason, our New Jersey Devils cannot consistently play it. And I guess it's because it's still such a foreign and new concept to them because they were never doing this under Lindy. Obviously, it was a huge initiative of Tom Fitzgerald this past offseason. It's obviously an initiative of Sheldon Keefe, the general, but he needs to make them play it every single game for 60 minutes. That is why the Panthers are so good, and that's why I expect them to go far again this season. They play playoff hockey all year, and Taylor Hall pointed out all of these things in the latest Chicklets episode. I highly recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it, but a very good episode, very interesting interview with Taylor Hall. Shane Van Sickle, Ace, is the depth scoring an issue they address in trade, or is it in the room now? I don't think it's in the room now. It could be in the organization now. I do think, maybe we see I've been saying this for weeks now, a middle six / bottom six guy brought in via trade. But I do want to see Hallinan from Utica get a shot. I thought Legary had a good little stint with us. And I think with a mixture of maybe a new player and some of the Utica guys that it could be figured out. But time will tell. I think Fitz is kind of waiting and seeing here as it as we get closer to the trade deadline. Devils fan 13. First goal of the game would go a long way today against a sneaky team like the Sharks. Hit that like button. People show Ace some love. Thank you for that. Hit the like for your boy. It would be nice to play with the lead. It hasn't happened too often this year. But I would love to play with the lead today for sure. Preferably a big lead. John, a lot of chatter about a move for bottom six help. Apparently Fitz was scouting recent SJ games. I heard that as well. He obviously has a well-documented history of making trades with them. And SST, it is so funny you said this because I thought about putting out a video about this, and I probably still will. Maybe it'll come out tomorrow. What's today, Saturday? I thought about making a video about this. Should the Devils sign Toews in an attempt to improve bottom six and especially our center players pool? The answer for me for this is an astounding fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Would I want Jonathan Toews? Absolutely. This guy is a gamer. He is a winner. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He's been through it all, seen it all, done it all. Legend of the game. Had some weird illness. Went to India. I was reading all about this. Did some alternative medicine type stuff to get better. Has taken time away from the game. He's not going to be looking for max money. He's voiced that he wants to play in the past week or so. He's been doing some interviews. And I would absolutely love this man as a member of the New Jersey Devils. Jonathan Toews as your third line center on your New Jersey Devils. I would pass out from excitement. I don't think he's going to be looking for a lot of money. Obviously, wherever he signs, he's probably going to sign for league minimum. The problem is there's a million teams that would love Jonathan Toews at league minimum for a, third line center. So I don't think it's possible. I still might make the video, but it seems like there's other teams that have the inside edge. Devils fan 13, no on Toews, can't risk cap money when you're a heavy contender. Yeah, man, you're wrong. He's going to sign for nothing. SST, yep, I'm with you, SST. He's not going to cost much until the end of the season. He's going to sign for nothing. He's going to sign for absolutely nothing, man. But it seems like, the Jets would be interested in him. Obviously a cup favorite or one of the cup favorites at the moment. He's from the Winnipeg area, so they probably have the inside track. I think I read some reports that maybe Saravelli or somebody put it out that maybe the Avalanche would be interested. So there's going to be no shortage of good teams looking to get him. So I don't know personally how the New Jersey Devils would be able to give him the sales pitch of a lifetime to get him to pick them over other teams. Because I think there's, like I said, there's going to be no shortage of teams that would take him on. And, like I've said, Jonathan Toews in 2025 as a third-line center for a contending team, every team in the league would probably want him. So I do think it is probably, not very likely, but I, for one, would love to see it. And again, I thought about making a video about this. I still may, but I don't want to get people excited just because I feel like the chances of it happening are super, super slim. And I'm trying to think, there's really no guys here that have any ties to him. If Corey Crawford didn't retire after one practice, and if he was still here, that would have been a tie that we could have maybe, used as leverage to try to have him recruit Toews. But there is no tie to my knowledge. I'm trying to think. No, we have no guys that would have. Yeah, unfortunately, we have nobody that would be of use in recruiting, other than obviously the ultimate, wild card, in my opinion, for things like recruiting, which is we have a Canadian legend in the organization, my friends, and his name is Martinbrodeurvodka, a Canadian god. Maybe he should hit up Jonathan Toews, a fellow Canadian, a fellow legend of the game, and be like, "What's up, Johnny? You want to try to cup chase with the squad we have here? We got a nice group. We got a real nice group. We'd love to add you." LJ, I would gamble on Toews in a heartbeat if money could work. I would too. The question is, why would he pick the Devils over some of these other teams? That's the only question. Keeping up with the Devils. No easy wins in the show. Even a team like San Jose can beat a team like Jersey. Happened early this year. Oh, absolutely. There's no easy wins in this league. We've lost to bad teams fairly regularly over the past couple seasons, and hopefully tonight is not one of those nights. John Fay, I would take Toews, but the real question is, will he come to Jersey? That is the real question. There's a lot of teams that are going to be in play. Morgan Williams, Toews as a dart throw third line center would be sexy. It'd be amazing. Devils fan 13, I'd love Toews too, but I don't know what the crazy health should I think. My pessimism with the Devils injuries what scares me off. With league minimum, I have no concerns whatsoever. This is extremely low downside with extremely high upside. This is like the dream scenario for some GMs. Manny, that's wild. I was just in India. Zach, I'd love Toews, but it's a gamble. Manny says, how's Toews a gamble for little money? 2 Toews, 1 Avalanche team. Morgan Williams, hopefully the Sharks play Makhakmadoulan. I always butcher this guy's name. The big D man that we traded in the Timo trade tonight. He's gotten into 8 games this year. Looks like he might be the 7th man. Obviously, wouldn't hope he has a good night versus NJ, but hope he pans out. Devils fan 13, our travel-friendly schedule being in NJ would be a big recruitment tool that Fitzy often uses. Yeah, but he's going to be going up against, Colorado Avalanche, who are looking like they could be a buzzsaw in the playoffs again. And then obviously the biggest one to me would be his hometown team. I don't know. And because they're amazing, right? So it just seems like to me if it would be the Winnipeg Jets. How would it not be? It's his hometown team where he grew up, and they're amazing. So it seems like it's just the if there was a betting line, what team does Jonathan Toews return to the NHL with? I'd have to think the Jets are like minus 5,000. Blackatron, Fitzy is cooking SST. What's he cooking? Scrambled eggs. R. Eric Ace, Nico has 2 years left on his contract. There's no concern he'd leave afterwards, right? I mean, listen, there's always some level of concern. But with Nico, I don't think so. I think he, likes the area. I think he likes New Jersey. And I think he enjoys being the captain, and I think he likes the group. With that being said, crazier things have happened. This is a business. Anything can happen. And a lot can happen in the next 2 years, right? So could I come up with some, can I conjure up some wild scenario in which he leaves? Absolutely, I could. But again, if I'm a betting man, I believe that he's locked up long-term. That's, I'm not remotely concerned about, him leaving at the moment. I don't think he wants to. I don't think it's a thing, but it could be. You can never say never. This is sports. This is money. You never know, and anything could happen. But, I would say I am really not too concerned about that. Blackatron, let him cook. Devs fan, remember me. Hi, remember me. Hello. Let's go, Devs. I just posted a premiere for the for Friday, January 10th at 7 p.m. It's finally done. I just posted the link in the chat. Your boy Ace, the sit-down interview with former Devils and hockey legend Jamie Langenbrunner, and man, was this a great time for your boy. One of the, or I would say probably the main reason I decided to start doing all this was obviously I enjoy talking about hockey and talking to Devils fans, et cetera, but I enjoy talking to players. Always like talking to players. Even as a child, I would informally interview players by just asking them a bunch of questions when I met them. Always was into it. And I had the chance to sit down with Jamie Langenbrunner for a nice chunk. The interview will premiere Friday, January 10th at 7 p.m., the day after the Devils Rangers game. So I just dropped that link in the chat. Hockey Girl, when do the Devils play next? They play next in an hour and a half against the Sharks. Morgan, having Hischier, Hughes, Toews is a fantastic Selke, Art Ross, Selke wave after wave assault that would lead to playoff success. I mean, listen, on paper, it seems that way, Morgan. The reality is we don't know, what Toews would really look like or what he'd bring at this stage, of his career / life, being that he is the age that he is. I think he's 36 or 37, hasn't played in a while, but the hockey IQ and, locker room presence and just leadership skills, that doesn't go away. So even if he wasn't a massive contributor on the ice in terms of production, I think he'd bring a lot of intangibles into the locker room that could help. And with his whole kind of health journey he's been on, I think he could be fairly productive in a bottom six role. I would take him in a heartbeat. No reservations for me whatsoever. If he wanted to come to New Jersey, I would welcome him with open arms and fireworks. Matt, Herd Nature says joining the Czech diving team in the Summer Olympics. That is hilarious. Completely hilarious. That was a terrible dive he did, obviously, after Timo rocked him. John Woodson, Nico for a bigger, tougher center at the end of his contract. The reality is we need two physical wingers to play with our soft centers. I disagree there. I would like a big, tough center too, but I'm not trying to trade Nico for that. I would, try to figure out how to get one elsewhere. But Nico is a great player. I would definitely not want to trade him. SST, man, don't ever wear a tie. What a hater. What an absolute hater. Blackatron, Toews could be the Kane to the Rags move. We must exercise caution. I don't think so. I feel like this would be more known to be a depth move, whereas wasn't Kane, I don't know. I feel like he demanded power play time and stuff when he went there, and it was more of a, I think he was expected to do more, if I'm not mistaken. Cape Dweller, Toews could be an affordable Palat. John Woodson, love Nico since he actually plays defense, but let's be real, we aren't getting rid of the Hughes bros. No, we're not, but I don't know why we'd have to get rid of Nico. John Fay, Toews would be a good fit for this team, but the question is, who do we trade or who goes to make room for Toews? He would sign for league minimum. We wouldn't have to do anything. The only hiccup preventing Toews coming here is convincing him to come to the Devils. That would literally be it. The money would not be an issue. He's going to sign for nothing. So the only barrier is somehow selling him to come to the Devils versus the many other teams that will be vying for his services, which would include his hometown Winnipeg Jets, who are looking like a monster this year. I just don't see how he doesn't go to the Jets. That's why I don't want to let my mind get too wrapped up in it, because it's his hometown team. They're amazing. And so it just makes too much sense for him to go there, but you never know. Hockey Girl, who is the best goalie of all time? That would be the great Martin Brodeur right here. This guy. This guy's the greatest goaltender of all time. Go Bora, what's going on? Wasn't Kane just fresh out of injury hell too? I feel like he's had a nagging thing going on for a couple seasons. I forget what it was, but I feel like he was kind of going in and out of, missing time and rehabbing some sort of issue. I don't remember specifically what it was, but I remember being pissed. I kind of wanted Kane when it was rumored he was going to be traded. With that being said, I always wanted the bigger, grittier guys. But whenever a legend, and especially an American legend, becomes available, sometimes I get a little irrational. Kane is not really the type of guy that we needed to add to the roster we had at the time. But, I would like to see the attempt at Toews. I mean, the attempt to bring him here would be amazing. John Fay, Brodeur, hands down. No bias, of course. Manny 04, too pretty and lives in Jersey City. Come on. That's in reference to Captain Nico Hischier. SST, not Brodeur. John Woodson, greatest defense of all time. Marty Brodeur isn't called Satan's wallpaper, but he is called the GOAT. I liked Brodeur, but I'm not a homer. I mean, the records speak for themselves. The longevity, the records, the fact they made a trapezoid to cut down on his puck handling ability. I mean, there's just so many things about Marty that were, that made him truly special. The amount of games he could play every season. Gamer XD and friends, I think Kane had a hip surgery. Sounds about right. Morgan Williams, true, that's assuming Toews isn't cooked. The team could still probably use a top 6 physical finisher, Brock Nelson. A lot of people have been talking about Brock Nelson. I'm not so sure the Islanders are going to look to move him. And if they do, I think they're going to want a lot for him. And I wouldn't want to give up a ton for a guy like that. I mean, listen, I think he's a good player, but I'm not, moving. Personally, I'm not going to move a guy like Nemitz in a trade to get Brock Nelson or any of our other, or Casey or anything. I mean, if it's some sort of, depth pieces, but they're going to get a lot for him from another team. What is his contract? I think he makes a good chunk too, which I think could be prohibitive. Yeah, he's making $6 million. $6 million. Yeah, I just can't. And I also don't think Lou would want to. I honestly believe Lou would, if he was going to trade him, Lou would rather trade him anywhere other than the Devils. I've said this time and time again. I do believe that Lou enjoys knowing that the Devils have not won a cup since he's left. I do think he enjoys that. I mean, the Islanders aren't completely out of it. They're 5 points out of the second wild card spot. Let's keep an eye on that. Closer to the deadline. Hockey Girl. So now, who is the best team of all time? Oh, man. You definitely get a ton of different answers on that. I don't know who I would say is the best team of all time. I'm sure if you asked hockey historians, you'd get one of the, some would say one of the 80s Oilers dynasty teams. Some people might pick one of the Islanders, dynasty teams. I think that 2002 Red Wings team was pretty good. Let me see. Yeah, you'd get a lot of different answers. I'm curious to know what some of you guys would say for greatest team of all time. Like I said, you'd get a wide range of answers depending on who you asked. Manny 04, Brodeur is goated. Go Boro. I grabbed a fake CCM Brodeur jersey today. Okay. Where'd you get that from? Jerome, win today or season's over? I mean, come on, Jerome. Ah, man. I mean, listen, I want to win the game really badly, too. I cannot co-sign this statement, though. The season's not over if they lose. Let's be real. The the season's not over. Would it be very upsetting and very troubling? I agree that would be the case. I can't say that the season would be over, though. Keeping up with the Devils, Markey second, Schmid third. Keeping up with the Devils, Jerome, that's a bit extreme. Season's never over. Jerome, going to see, I don't know what the hell that says, Nosferatu, but I want a Devils win first. What the I need to know what this is. What is Nosferatu? Oh, shit. This looks like a movie that'll give me nightmares. Holy shit. Yeah, this movie, I would definitely not be able to sleep for days. Yeah, that looks very, very disturbing. John Fay, I don't see the Islanders giving up Brock Nelson. He is too big for them. Well, he is an unrestricted free agent, and he might be looking to move on. So if Uncle Lou gets the feeling that they're not going to be able to come to terms, these are the quintessential situations where guys get moved. If Uncle Lou's like, your agent wants too much, I'm not losing you for nothing. Thank you for your service. Sayonara, cash in. And he'd be a valuable piece of the deadline. I mean, let me just see. How's he doing this year? Brock Nelson would get you some assets for sure. Yeah, he's a big boy, 6'4", 205. He's got a little bit of a down year this year. 10 goals, 11 assists for 21 points through 39 games played. But has 30-plus goals the past 3 seasons. 21-22, he had 37. He had 36 in 22-23 and 34. You're talking about he's averaging basically 35 goals a year. 30, it's even a little more than that. It's like 35 and a half or so. Over the past few seasons. He's 33. Yeah, I could see somebody giving up a first rounder for him. Or maybe a couple second rounders or a second rounder and a prospect. He'd definitely get something, he would get a real nice return at the deadline for sure. Blackatron, I want Zetterlund back. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen, but it's a funny thing to think about. Yeah, it'd be Zetterlund on this team would be awesome. But you could go back and say that on tons of teams. Like, how good would this team have been if we never had, if we got this guy back? I mean, it is what it is. John Woodson, if Askarov plays, we're in trouble. Oh boy. I hope we light him up. If he plays, I hope we light him up. But they just who they just beat? Did they beat the Lightning? Who the hell they beat? They beat somebody decent after losing a million games. Yeah, they just beat the Lightning 2-1. And then before that, they were on a holy shit. Before that, they were on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 7-game losing streak. And they had lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 11 of 12 before that. They lost 11 of their previous 12. With the only win being against the Blues, 4-3. 2. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. We can't lose this team. I'm so sorry, but yeah, no. You got to come out there and smash these dudes. They haven't had. Let me see when was the last time they had back-to-back wins. Man, had to be. They had a little streak earlier in the season. Yep. They had the last back-to-back wins. Were November 30th. They beat the Kraken 4-2, and then December 3rd they beat the Caps 2-1 in overtime. That was actually their third consecutive win. But other than that, it's been a pretty brutal season. for the San Jose Sharks. Candy Ace, you look super cute in the tie. I'd have to believe this is someone trolling. Morgan Williams, Nelson probably needs to be retained, so getting him at $3 million. I don't think Lou would spite Nelson and the Devils just because. Oh, you don't know Lou too well. Just like how he sent Palmieri and Zajac to Lou during the Islanders' peak. Us sending guys to Lou is different than Lou sending guys to us. Yo, Candy, chill. Cape Dweller, 76, 77 Canadians. All these old dynasty teams, I could only watch, little clips. It's hard when you didn't, live through it accurately, in my opinion, comment on some of these types of questions. With that being said, I'd love to talk to Stan Fischler, the Maven, about it, because the Maven is a hockey encyclopedia and he did live through all of it. Go Boro, best team of all time. I guess a lot of people will say 82 to 88 Oilers, and some would say 96 to 02 Detroit. Others will go 2010 to 2015 Chicago, etc. Askarov is in net. Also, everyone spam happy birthday, Nico. Morgan Williams, it could potentially be what Nelson wants, so he wouldn't have to leave his family. Oh, Lou's not going to give a shit what Brock Nelson wants. He's going to be like, listen, kid, you're going away for the deadline. You're a playoff rental. You could go sign wherever you want afterwards. Best of luck to you. Merci beaucoup. Alex, we're a lock for playoffs at this point. It's all about how we perform once we get there. I sort of agree. Go Boro, best team of all time, 2000 Devils. I would say they would definitely, the 2000 Devils would definitely give any team in his league history, I think, a difficult fight. We'll definitely go on a 4-game losing streak before we go on a 4-game winning streak. Let me screenshot this. It's so brave of you to say that, Woodson, when we're on a 3-game losing streak. But I will say, Woodson, would you stick by that or make a bet on that if the Devils win today? So if the Devils win today, Woodson, would you make a bet on that? If we have a way to make a safe bet, I will bet you on that. I'm trying to figure out. We both have to pay somebody, a trusted third party that would pay out after one of the things happened. John Fay, it's a vampire movie. Ace. Traveling Devil, best team of all time is too subjective since the league has changed over the years. Very true. Different eras, a lot of different things to take into consideration when trying to compare teams from different eras to each other. Go Boro, it's pretty scary. Second scariest movie of the year, but behind Vitek Vanacek highlights. Alex, we didn't even have to trade Nemitz to get Meyer. No way Nelson on a rental gets a prospect that good. Well, the reality is, how good is he really? I think he's going to be a good player. But now if I'm the other GM, I'm like, listen, how good is this kid? You kicked him out of your lineup. You sent him down to the AHL. So how are you going to tell me how good he is? If he was that good, he'd be playing on your NHL club, wouldn't he? So it's a tough spot to be in. I wouldn't want to trade him for a player like Nelson. I've said, on the program before, I wouldn't be opposed to trading him, but I would want to get a more long-term substantial piece. Definitely not a rental, and definitely not for Brock Nelson, with all due respect. But I wouldn't be surprised if some teams offer up, some of these sexy type prospects to get rentals, whether it's Brock Nelson or another guy. Hockey Girl, some of the dudes are getting old on the Penguins. Yo, Snand, Toews over Nelson. Well, Toews would cost nothing. That's the appealing. That's the one of the more appealing things about Toews is that he would cost very little, with a lot of upside, in my opinion. Alex, I'd take Brian Rust from Pittsburgh if they blew it up in a heartbeat. Okay. Toews, remember Timo's Hattie against the Blues last season? Yes, I do. Would love to see a Timo Hattie again sometime soon. Go Boro. Toffoli scored a banger to win. I think, man, I wonder if we could on him, but we probably shouldn't. I don't know what that means. Sharks have won 1 in their last 10. What a rough season to be a Sharks fan, says John Fay. Manny 04, Devils seem to mail it in against the weaker teams. Yeah, we've talked about this time and time again. I don't know if it's mailing it in as much as just somehow they find a way to lose. Go Boro, I asked a Sharks fan about it, but they said they are excited about their prospects. Yeah, at some point, though, your prospects have to, not be prospects. They need to be productive NHL members. The thought about the prospects is what kept me somewhat sane through some of the Devils' dark years, knowing that, Jack was going to get better and Brader was going to get better. And, we had some of these other guys in the pipeline, but that only lasts for so long. At some point, you got to perform. Would love Brock in the top 6. That's an expensive rental, though. Bottom 6 help will be cheaper and highly effective. I agree with you there. Cape Dweller Rags made it 4-3. There's hope. Toews, I missed Toffoli. He was good for our team the way he blended with Nico and Jack. I like Toffoli. In my opinion, too slow for this team. Not defensively responsible enough for this team. And then the biggest sticking point for me is the six schmilly that he got paid. No interest. No interest in paying that kind of money. Amagi, the age difference of Fitz and Lou is actually wild. Yeah, Lou could be his daddy. Alex, I think 80s Oilers is it. A recent dark horse would be Tampa Bay. The height of their core is pretty elite with Stamkos, Kuch, Hedman, Vasilevsky, Point, etc. On paper, maybe. I guess, yeah, you'd have to include them at least in the conversation. Morgan Williams, I'd do a second and a prospect. Agreed, Nelson might get a first plus the deadline, and if we get outbid, so be it. But Hami Naho in the second, that's probably as high as I'd go. Would Lou like Stillman? I don't think anyone wants Stillman. One of the biggest disappointments or so it seems, in recent Devils draft history. It doesn't seem like Stillman is going to crack the Devils lineup. I mean, listen, how many guys have we called up from Utica, and he was not one of them? I'm trying to remember. In no particular order, we've called up Dowling. We've called up Bowers. We've called up Foote. We've called up Legary. We've called up, is that it? Is that 4? Bowers, Foote, Legary, Dowling. I'm probably missing somebody. At least 4. And he wasn't in the first 4 called up. That's not usually a good sign. BM, best team of all time, 2001 Devils. When we lost to the Avs, it still hurts. That team was very good, but if you didn't win the cup, I can't put you in the conversation for best teams of all time. But I did totally forget because I blocked it out from my PTSD. That 2001 Avalanche team was disgustingly good. Another one of the crazy teams. 2001 Avalanche, my God. Stacked on stacked on stacked. Patrick Waugh, Rob Blake, Ray Bourque, Joe Sakic, Forsberg, Alex Tanguay, Milan Hayduk. I mean, my God, that team was filthy. Absolutely filthy. Nordique NHL. Feel like the Devils have a window of opportunity here. Rangers are struggling. Philly, Pittsburgh, and Columbus are rebuilding. The Isles are mid. The only real threat in the division is Carolina. And the Capitals, obviously. The Capitals are ridiculously good. Cram 1R. I still think the first Devils 4-game win streak this year is round 1 of these coming playoffs. I'm going all in on my wild take. I'd like to see a first round of the playoff sweep. With that being said, a lot of times in different sports throughout my life, I've witnessed teams sweeping and then sitting idly while the other series finish. Sometimes is a negative. I don't ever like to sit that long. Maybe 5 games and get the, I don't know. The extended rest does worry me. And now after this year, just the only example we have thus far was the holiday break, obviously. Seeing how good the Devils were before the holiday break and then that 3 days off, how they looked after that, a sweep would terrify me. While it'd be exciting to sweep someone in the playoffs, the time off, I think, could be no good. John Woodson, bold prediction. Either we score on the power play today or we lose. It's an interesting one. Blackatron, no prospects for rentals unless it's a Malkin tier rental. Oof. Ooh. Gino Malkin. I would love him too. Strider, is this practically a must-win? I'm going to say practically yes. Because we're on a 3-game skid, because the Sharks absolutely blow, it is a practically must-win, but nothing is a must-win unless it is a must-win, right? Life will go on. The sun will come up tomorrow, and we'll still have 40 games of hockey to play should they lose today. However, it would be tragic. Again, because they're on a 3-game slide, losing today would make it 4, and the Sharks are not good. And so at some point, the excuses have to stop. The bullshit got to stop, and you must perform. You must snap out of it. So I will go with the practically a must-win Strider for sure, but, it's an asterisk kind of thing. Stick figs. Guys, if we end up losing our 4th game in a row to San Jose, I'm taking back Toffoli and Vitek and leaving behind Meyer and Markstrom. John Woodson, prospects only to offload overpaid bums. SST is talking about a bet of some kind. What was the bet? Remind me. John Woodson, Toffoli played worse defense than Jack and skated as fast as Big Mac. Yeah, I agree with you, Woodson. Slow, don't play defense, overpaid, not for me. Like Toffoli, nice guy. Has that shot, obviously. He had a sick goal the other night, too. He did a little move, but does not fit, and it did not fit, in my opinion, the identity of what this Devils team was trying to go towards going forward. You don't play defense, you are slow, and you get paid a lot of money. Now, would I have overlooked all of that shit for $3.5 million for his goal production? Yes, I would have, but at $6 million, hard pass, and the Devils moved on. Hockey Girl, you should try to do an interview with the Hughes brothers. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I should totally try that. Hockey Girl, you're funny. If only it was that easy, I would love to do an interview with the Hughes brothers. It's maybe one day. Ovi scored on the Rags 5-3. Terrible. 5-3. John Woodson, Hughes brothers absolutely hate to get interviewed, except when it's Erica. Jack wasn't. Toews, thoughts on Markey? Love the man. I love the man. Love Markstrom. Big part of the turnaround. I wanted Markstrom when the rumors first came up. I was pumped when we got him, and I'm still pumped. I'm a little upset that they do not let him fully get in a groove and just give him a string of games. I do hate the current day modern NHL 1A, 1B goaltending tandem nonsense. I would just ride Markey, baby. Just ride him. Obviously, I wouldn't, demand he plays the back-to-backs, even though some of the greats have. Marty. But I don't see why, when there's normal amount of time in between games, why Markey would not be able to carry the load and just give him games. Just give him games. He doesn't have to play back-to-backs, but I'd like to see him in there for most of the other games. I do think Allen has been forced in there too much. Blue Figs, imagine not having a win in 2024. I think you meant 2025, Blue Figs. I think you meant to write 20. Yeah. Cape Dweller, 76, 77 Habs, 68, 12 ties, 132 points. Jacques Lemaire, Larry Robinson. Legends on legends on legends. Love me some Jacques. Love me some Larry. What an era it must have been to be a Canadiens fan back then. Devils fan 13, Caps 5, Ragdolls 3 with 8 minutes left. SST, Caps are a wagon. It's going to be between them and Vegas in the end. I don't think so. John Woodson, the entire West is a wagon. Blue Figs, a lot can happen in 7 minutes. Don't ever count my Rangers out. SST says Holtz is going to be the cup winner. Imagine that. Oh, man. I mean, listen, if he wins a cup, so be it. He wouldn't be like a huge part of it, in my opinion. What is his stats at right now? Let's see. What does he have? 10 points now? Yeah, 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points. Okay. Toews, my dad went to the Kraken game at the Rock, and at the train station, he met former Devil and Cup winner Christoph Oliwa. Very nice. Love me some Oliwa. What a monster that guy was. John Woodson, Holtz or Zetz might win a cup before us. It could happen. Zetz. You're talking about Zetterlund if he gets traded? I hope you're not talking about on the Sharks, John Woodson. That would be psychotic. Rabid Monkeypox. Devils need to beat the bad teams 100% of the time. I mean, no one could beat them 100% of the time, but I'd like to see them beat them much closer to 100% of the time than what they're doing now. Now it seems like it's 50-50. I'd like to be in that 80, 90% range would be nice. Morgan Williams, even hotter take. The only 4-game win streak will be sweeping the Stars to win the cup. Oh, that take is red hot. That's boiling hot. Stick Figs, honestly, the only thing that would make me happier than seeing Holtz and Akira succeed in Vegas is seeing the NJ Devils succeed. Shame that mess. Gorgiev isn't in net tonight. 5-4. What do we have? A barn burner? 5-4. Go Boro at SST, I think. Bet was on Luke Hughes' contract size. If it's about 7.5 mil plus, or it's going to be a 5 mil bridge deal. Hockey girl, I mean, they hate interviews, but you could try. Oh, yeah, no. I mean, maybe one day when they're a little bit older, I'll have a chance, potentially. Who knows? But I can't see it anytime soon. John Woodson, Bridge, if we are smart, but it'll be 6 to 7 mil. I'm already on record saying my prediction is between 7 and 8. 6-4. I mean, what is going on in this game? It seems like you guys are updating the score every 2 seconds. Wow. SST, I can only see Luke getting big paycheck only if Dougie and Andre go. John Woodson, to me, Luke is like Mercer. He hasn't done quite enough to get the big bag. It's a little bit different of a situation. A Hughes brother, a defenseman. There's more to it than meets the eye, Woodson. And that's why he's going to get paid 7 to 8. Schmilly, stick figs. I know it would benefit us more in the standings if the Rangers pulled it off, but honestly, I'd rather the Caps lay it on. 6-4. Dire Wolf, let's please beat the ever-loving shit out of the Sharks. Oh, we need it. We need it. Devils fan 13. Devils are winning this 6-2 tonight. High-scoring games tonight. High kudos. Love Yegor, but man, he's having an awful season. Feel bad for the guy. And this should make people kind of not fully back off, but after the season he had last year in Calgary, people like SST and a lot of other people were like, Fitzgerald's an idiot. He traded this kid for Toffoli, and then we lost Toffoli, and blah, blah, blah. Sharangovich came back down to earth now. Calgary paid him his money, and he basically is nowhere near the player he was last year. It is what it is. Would I like to have him on this team now? Sure. But I'm not crying over it. It's water under the bridge. I thought the trade for Toffoli was a win-now move. I was all in with that team. I wanted Fitz to make win-now moves. Sharangovich wasn't going to crack, he wasn't going to get more opportunity than he was already getting with all the forwards we had. He got cashed in, and I'm not crying about it. Yeah, what's he doing now? Absolutely monster year last year, looking to get paid. But then after he got paid, he just kind of fizzled out. I mean, it's not a terrible season, but it's not, what you paid him money for. Oh, no, this thing loaded wrong. No, I'm sorry. That is a terrible season. 6 goals and 5 assists for 11 points in 31 games and a -9. How much did they pay him? I think it was like 6 mil. 6 million-ish a year. 5.75. Good luck. Good luck. That is an awful contract for that production. Will the Devils beat the Sharks and earn their first W of 2025? I certainly hope so, Tim Frith. I certainly hope so. John Woodson, Sharks are going to be good in 3 and 4 years, and they get all the buyouts off the books. Great goalie, great young talent, and plenty of cap space to work with. Yeah, Mike Greer is playing the long game right now, and props to him. That's got to be pretty painful as a GM to, take over a disastrous team and then have to do all these moves knowing that the payoff is so far down the line. Obviously he's getting paid well to do this, and he's still working in hockey, and it's awesome. But, my God, to have to maneuver all these chess pieces to align for so long down the line. But, yeah, man, I mean, Askarov, Celebrini, Zetterlund's emerging. They have a bunch of other young kids. They definitely have a chance to build something there in a few years from now, for sure. Blue Figs are scoring like this against the Caps, and you guys counted us out. The Devils are not prepared for January 9th. That's going to be a big one. I'm very excited for that Devils-Rangers game. Hopefully it, brings out the best in the boys once again. Obviously, we thrashed them 5-1 at the Garden earlier, a few weeks back, a month ago, whatever it was. It was already, about a month ago. And then we smashed them a couple weeks ago at the Rock 5-1. What happened here? I think something happened to the video. Something happened to the video? Can you guys hear me still? Can you guys see me? My computer's messed up. Oh, man. So you can see and hear me? My computer froze. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, Devils Rangers, always a good one. And maybe that's the one I go to. Maybe that's the game I go to. At the Garden. But I hope Ranger fans gave up on the season. Maybe the tickets will be cheaper. It's a fortune to go to Rangers games, especially Devils Rangers, but because the Rangers suck so bad, I'd imagine the prices will be down a little bit. Maybe I will look to go to that one. But that makes it messy to get home. I don't know. We'll see. I always have fears of being arrested, but I'll think about it. Pizza Party, Blackwood isn't in net. Feeling good about the game tonight. I'm a little nervous, but I think they're going to pull it off. Obviously, it's great that Blackwood is no longer with them for tonight's game. Morgan Williams, Devils are 8th best versus shit teams with a 73.8%, while they're 9th versus top teams with a 52.6%. Obviously, we'd want to be better in top 10, but in both is pretty good. Ryan Albers, would you ever go to another team's arena to watch a Devils game? Yeah, I've seen plenty of Devils road games. I'm trying to think over the years of the different arenas I've seen. Let me think about this. I've seen the Devils at the Garden, obviously. I've seen the Devils at the old Nassau Coliseum. I've seen the Devils at TD Garden in Boston. I've seen the Devils in Tampa Bay. I've seen the Devils in Colorado. I've seen the Devils in San Jose, Anaheim, Los Angeles, Vegas. What's that, 9? That might be all of it. But I've seen the Devils on the road plenty over the years. SST, Sharon Govich was injured, didn't go through preseason. Please, SST, keep that energy, baby. Sharon Govich turned out to be a bust for the Flames. A bust signing for $6 million. The guy played for his contract and folded it up. Cram 1R. I'm also impressed how much fun a losing team like the Sharks are having. Good signs for their future, too. John Woodson, Hall scores today. A late Christmas miracle. John Woodson, Ace fixed the audio issues. I'm impressed. You're a funny guy, Woodson. Let me tell you. Video and audio are good. It's been like 10 lives without him bumping the mic. Heater. What a dick. Yeah, but the software can't recover. If I bump the mic and it disconnects, so now I have to know just not to touch it. That's all. If I don't touch it, if I don't bump it, there'll be no issues, but it is annoying. Amagi, never been to UBS to see the Devils. No, I've been meaning to go. The issue is I'm not doing public transportation. I don't remember if it was you or someone else hard selling it to public transit. Not for me. Ace doesn't do public transit. And driving there, no matter what time, unless I went at I went there like dumb early in the morning and hung out near there all day, it could take a few hours to drive there from where I live, which is not appealing. And then also, I think there's like a whole shuttle. Like you can't just park there. You have to do like a whole shuttle thing. I'm a creature of convenience. If you make something convenient, I'll do it. If you make it super inconvenient, I'm out. John Woodson, Penn's Arena is damn nice. Flyers, Caps, Rangers, all trash. Oh, and I've been to Philly as well. I forgot. Philly's on the list. What's that, 10? Stickfigs, Ace, need to be careful if you go to MSG, not for your safety, for theirs. We are all heavier, edgier, and more violent, but that may keep me from some events without self-imposed consequences. Amagi, listen, man, I'll ride the LIRR with you and defend you from the crackheads. I hate public transit. Stickfigs, Caps score the empty netter 4-7. Cape Dweller, I saw Charlie Simmer get a hat trick in an 8-3 beatdown in Boston Garden 1986. Great place to see a game. Well, the old Boston Garden's done now. Now it's TD Garden, and I will be going there in about 6 weeks to see some of the Four Nations face-off. I am pumped for that, which brings me to another diatribe of how bad is the NHL with marketing and merchandise and all of it. It's unbelievable. I wish they would hire me. Hire somebody to take care of this shit. It all goes back to, let's just start off with the more recent ones we all know. The Stadium Series Devils jerseys were a complete debacle. No one had them. First of all, they didn't come out till a couple weeks before the game. They missed the Black Friday and Christmas season. They could have sold millions of them. They didn't have them produced in time. Then there was a shortage. Then they're coming out with defects. The factory put Jack Hughes, his entire name, on the back of the jerseys. Like, what are you people doing? And now you have this international tournament for the first time it's the first time in 8 years that the NHL guys are in an international tournament. I'm trying to think. I think it could be since the 2016 World Cup. And you have no merchandise for sale. What is wrong with you people? Had you had this stuff on sale for the holiday season, you would have moved units. You would have absolutely moved units. I looked yesterday. You still can't find anything. When are you going to sell the Four Nations jerseys? All they have is these shitty signed pucks on Fanatics. I hate Fanatics. Fanatics is just another corporate slime. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Yeah, still nothing. We just want some jerseys. We just want some jerseys and t-shirts and whatever else. Complete shit. Complete shit, inexcusable. John Woodson, with any luck, the Caps will win the President's Trophy and get jinxed. I mean, that'd be crazy. That'd be totally crazy if they won the President's Trophy. I think that would have to be one of the more shocking President's Trophy winners in years. I think it would have to be. I don't think anyone would have. Shit, I wonder what the preseason odds must have been monstrous to bet on them. Now I'm on NHL Shop. Yeah, you have Winter Classic stuff out the wazoo. Where is the Four Nations stuff? It doesn't exist. What are they doing? Go Boro. I heard Philadelphia isn't nice to be. You heard right. John Woodson, Philly fans, the absolute worst. Also correct. Morgan Williams, can you imagine the noise if it was Jack missing as many games as Matthews currently is and had gone over to Germany for additional treatment? I haven't been following this storyline, but that's interesting. I feel like he's had some other medical things in the past where he's, looked for extra doctors beyond what they originally gave him. Stick Figs, I still look at my DH Gate SS jersey in shame. I would have proudly rocked my Jack Hughes if it meant it was legit. I heard DH Gators are better than Fanatics quality-wise. Amagi says DH Gate SS jersey is a crime. Yeah, I think you're referring to that neon orange color that they appear to be. Daniel Brennan, I'm going to say 3-1 Devils today. I would accept that. I would like to see a lot more goals just to open the floodgates, but I'll certainly settle for any win. 3-1 sounds good to me. Stick Figs Amagi, I saw someone at my college's game with the real thing, and my crest is so small compared to theirs. Yeah, the crest and numbers are microscopic. It's so goofy. Friends don't let friends buy DH Gate fakes. Friends do not let friends buy DH Gate fakes. We need a win today, guys. We need a freaking win. And we need it bad. We need it badly. What time is it? Oh, shit. It's been on here for a while. Anyone got anything else going on? Wow, I want this win. I would like to see Timo get some, back in his former home. See Timo do something. Like to see Jack. Always like to see Jack get it going. Brendan Dillon played a lot of his career in San Jose. Maybe he gets one. Maybe Dilly gets one, a rare one from Dilly in one of his former homes. Keep it up with the Devils. Love to see the Rangers lose, but hate to see Washington win. Ovi is 23 goals away. It's phenomenal, isn't it? What Alexander Ovechkin has been able to do is nothing short of spectacular. It really is. It really is something. Ovi's just a monster. And who knows? Maybe he does do it this year. I didn't think there was any chance whatsoever. But there is a chance that he does it. I thought about, because I'm just such a big fan of the sport, and obviously have followed Ovechkin's career, throughout. I've thought about trying to attend the game where he would break the record. Now, obviously, the thing that sucks about this is, for something like this, it could potentially go on for 10 games in a row. I don't think it would, but there is that kind of thing to it where if you try to go, say he's one away, it could take several games, which would suck to travel all around multiple games to see it. But that really is a hockey history moment, a huge one. And I was obviously able to be in attendance when the great Martin Brodeur set the all-time wins record with 552 at the Rock. That was a beautiful night. John Fay Ovi is going to do it this season. Amagi, Ace is going to get a Fanatics premium Marty jersey with the captaincy and an Elias retirement night patch on it. That's all the jersey no-nos combined into one. Go Boro says, I'll go 5-1 Devils. Heischer ×2. Cotter, Siegenthaler, Meyer. Morgan Williams, NHL constantly steps on their own dicks with marketing / rollouts. The Stadium Series jerseys last year was a joke. Couldn't get a jersey before Christmas. Anthony Garcia, Devils win the next 3 away games to finish the road trip. That'd be great. Cape Dweller, I hope Askarov doesn't pull a Dostal and save 52 out of 55 like last year. Morgan Williams, we're way overdue for a Dougie clap bomb. I think there's something still up with the pec. We haven't seen a ton of clappers. We're seeing more of the wristers, the snappers, but he could still snipe them. Hopefully Dougie lets him fly. I'd like to see a goal from him today as well. Stanley 62495 can't stand Ovi. F that guy. I'm an Ovi fan, I have to say. Traveling Devil, it's time for a blowout game against a bottom dweller. Today ends some player slumps. That'd be great. Gamer XD and friends, do you think 15 goals for Jack at this point of the season is good for him? No, it's not. Not the end of the world, but it's not good. I would have liked to see him closer to 20. But, I expect him to be that 90 to 100 point guy. Right now, he's on pace for, I think, 92. Would love to see him get 100. If he finished with 35 goals and 65 assists or something along those lines, I would say that's a huge win. But more importantly, what is the team's record? As long as the team is winning, I don't get caught up on those ultra specifics. But halfway through the season, you would like to see Jack closer to 20, in my opinion. But we'll see how he does the second half. John Woodson, always liked Ovi over Crybaby Crosby. I like Crosby as well. I think, over the last 20 years, those two guys have been the face of the league. Ovi and Crosby, both generational talents. They came in the league a year apart, I believe. And it's been phenomenal to watch both of their careers, and they're both going to go down as all-time greats. Crazy stuff that they both lived up to all the hype that was put on them. Stick Figs, on eBay, there's a Jack Reverse Retro 2.0 for 300, Jack Hughes SS for 250, and a Stevens Red and Green for 120. What one do I go with? I need more details, Stick Figs. Text me the links. Are you talking about Fanatics jerseys, or are you talking about, I'm assuming none of these are made in Canada, or at least the Retro 2.0. Amagi, all Devils merch doesn't seem to be handled properly. The Hockey Fights Cancer and military stuff vanished. Stadium stuff series was impossible to get, and even the home opener puck this season vanished in like 2 minutes. Annoying. Keep it up with the Devils. The goal record isn't safe with Brendan Dillon in the league. He's scoring tonight. That's Brendan with an E to you, keeping up with the Devils. That's BRENDEN. Brendan Dillon. Amagi at Stickfigs. Jack RR 2.0 for 300 seems too high, honestly. Not if it's a made in Canada. It's not, but it probably isn't. John Fay, you think we're going to see a Dillon bomb keeping? I don't know what that is. Keep it up with the Devils. Sidney the Kidney just got his own franchise record for assists. Gamer XD and friends, yeah, I agree with what you said. I expect him to be very close to being his 22-23 season self, but since I'm a Jack Hughes lover, it's all good. Yeah, as long as the team's winning, but yeah, we'd like to see some increased production. Reverse Retro 2.0 made in Canada is at 800 to 1,000. Are you sure? I thought no one really cared about the 2.0s nearly as much as the 1.0s. I could be wrong. Your boy's a game worn snob. I don't really study the retail or whatever you want to call it markets, because I've told you guys time and time again, your name is not going on my back unless you won a cup. If you have not won a cup, your name's not going on Ace's back. Sorry, so sorry. Amagi, Pro Stock Hockey had 2.0 goalie cuts. Goalie cut made in Canada, they vanished immediately, and they only had like 3. Jersey, Adidas made in Canada's are extremely expensive too. Yeah, the 1.0s I know are the one that everybody slept on. Again, I didn't care to get one to wear. I did buy a game worn way back when. But you could probably get a lower level guy, one of the jerseys, which is game worn, which is obviously made in Canada, or game issued, for not that crazy. Let me see. Well, I mean, I guess they are crazy compared what most people would consider crazy, I guess. Amagi, I became a Devils fan after the 1.0, and it brings me pain every day. Crazy man, bro. Optimum streaming lost MSG. I've been pissed off. I've called them like twice a day, screaming curses at them. Now, if I want to watch them, I have to spend $100 to watch them. Crazy man, is that a picture of you, bro? You look like you're like a little kid in a guinea tea. Hilarious. That's mad funny. I will tell you, do your research, crazy man. There are other ways to watch the game if you catch my drift. Now, there's some other people in here that might be in the same position as you. There are other ways to watch the game. That's all I'm gonna say. Do some research. You will find some of these ways to watch the game. Traveling Devil third gamers are like 700 and up. Amagi, I saw a preseason Jack gamer on Migrate for a few thousand preseason. Yeah, Jack stuff's gonna go for a fortune, man. It is what it is. That's the times we live in. Keeping up with the Devils. Sometimes I use Sports Surge when I can't watch it. Crazy man. What is Sports Surge? Somebody help Crazy man out. I know some of you. Where are all my sailors at? Ahoy, matey. Where are my sailors of the high seas? I know there's some of you in here. Here we go, Cramart. Help my man, Crazy man out. Amagi, I watch the games the other ways because I don't have cable. Cramart, sail the seas to watch them. Somebody help Crazy man out. All right, guys, I'm going to take a leak and wrap this up. The official pregame is coming on momentarily. Whatever comments, questions, throw it out there in the chat. I'm going to take a leak. I'll be back in a minute. Then we'll wind this down, and then obviously I'll be back after the game. But thanks to all of you for coming out. I'll be back in a minute, taking a leak. Throw it all out there in the comments before we wrap up here. Help out Crazy man. He needs to help him navigate the seas, guys. For you more experienced sailors. All right, folks, we're wrapping up here. Pre-game about to start. Amagi Legacy, save cable money and buy more Dirty Devil vodka with it. Go Boro. There is a on Hockey of the Seas I use. Cheers. Jeff says, I have ESPN Plus and some of the alternative methods are better quality, to be honest. That's sad. On hockey.tv at Crazy Man. Hopefully Crazy Man saw this and he could get helped out so he could see the game. Amagi, I heard there's a stream on the East you can use too. Crazy Man. Keep it up the Devils if you don't live in Jersey or local. ESPN Plus is good. Stick Figs, perhaps you could easily catch all of your games if you found some live TV. Mark Kingsley, what's another stream to watch with ESPN Plus local blackout? Mark, I would say look at the last 4 or 5 comments, and people are giving you all the tidbits you need out there. Cramwinar, also VPNs plus ESPN Plus combo is good. Surfshark is what I use. Stick Figs, I also asked my friend Mr. Gaming streams that I found on a dot app. Oh, man, you guys are very resourceful, both in finding ways to navigate these choppy sea waters out here, just trying to watch your favorite NHL team, our New Jersey Devils. And, wow, hopefully some of those in need were able to piece these very obvious clues together. I'm going to go, what's my prediction for today? I hate doing predictions, but I guess I'll do one. I'm going to go 4-1 Devils. 4-1 Devils. I think Jack gets one. I think Brader gets one. I don't know who else, but I'm going to go Jack and Brader in a 4-1. Stick Figs, the NHL should have thought of better broadcasting options. Doesn't the current TV deal end soon? I don't know. The NHL sucks at everything. It's so unfortunate. They're so bad. They're so bad at everything, honestly. I think the league just needs so much help in every department. It's sad. When you're the fourth of the 4 major sports, you need to be cutting edge and be good at everything. Be great at everything, I should say. And they're just bad at everything. Merchandise is a nightmare. The TV deal is a nightmare. You can't tell us what goaltender interference is. You have the 3 blind mice in the ivory tower in Toronto reviewing replays. It's a disaster. Complete disaster. John Fay, hey, Ace, I know it's too soon, but you'll be live after the Seattle game on Monday. John, I'm live after every game, baby. I only missed 1 game this year because it was a concert I had to go to, and there was no way to do a live after. Had to go to the concert, but other than that, I haven't missed a game all year. I don't plan on missing any others. You know, stuff could come up where I might have to miss another 1 or 2 maybe, but I'll be certainly live after the Seattle game in the late night hours. Amagi, are you going to a Sirens game this year? I would say probably not, but you never know. Justin Hockey, 5-1 New Jersey Devils. I like it. John Fay, 4-2 New Jersey Devils. I'll settle for that. Justin Hockey, hat trick for Jack and 2 for Timo. That would be beautiful as well. I'm sticking with my 4-1, but listen, anything that results in a New Jersey Devils win, I'd love to see. It'd be sick. Any Devils win is welcome from my point of view. Any win is a good win. And we need one badly. Let me just see if there's anything else here. 2 hat tricks for Timo. All right, guys. Hopefully I am back after. Well, I'm going to definitely be back after the game. And hopefully we are drinking victory vodka and not loser beverages. I hate loser beverages. And hopefully it's Victory Vodka, guys. Hopefully it's Victory Vodka. Thank you for joining me for a random pre-game live. You already know I'll be back after the game with the post-game live. Tons of stuff in the works. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. Let's go Devils. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.